What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Gaming with the Broscast, episode 106. My name is Harrison. I am joined by my brother, Nick, as always.
And quick shout out to today's sponsor. It is Pedialyte. It has gotten me through the past few days. So shout out Pedialyte. And we'll be expecting our check soon.
Yeah, well, let's just jump on into it, Nick. You've had a little bit of a rough week. Well, really, ever since like Thanksgiving, I feel like you've been kind of on and off sick.
Well, yeah, because I got norovirus right after Thanksgiving, and now, I really got it last Monday. I woke up and had the poops, had the diarrhea, and it's been lasting all week. It's gotten worse. There was one night where I got up six separate times, and they were all extremely eventful, and it was not fun. And that morning, I was like, "All right, I'm making a doctor's appointment. I got to go. I got to go yesterday." At this point, so I have what's called, I think it's called adenovirus.
Okay,
and it's the second most common type of stomach virus you can get, but mine is like strictly gastrointestinal, so it's strictly the poops. No vomiting or anything. It's not like norovirus where I was just out of commission for a full day.
Yeah, at least you weren't your head in the toilet, or your poopy butt in the toilet and then your head in the trash can. At least it wasn't both ends. But either way, yeah, I mean, we talked about it before, but I had something recently like that not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you just feel so dehydrated and just a lot of Pedialyte and water and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's crazy like how debilitating things like this are if you have enough of it. Like, if you're pooping enough, it's gonna dehydrate you. You're gonna get a headache. You're just gonna feel weak. And that's kind of how I've felt the past couple of days. I'm feeling better today, and I've stuck to it's called the brat diet, which is bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast. And that's all I've had today. It's pretty much all I had yesterday, except for dinner, and then I started feeling bad. So I'm gonna stick to this. Hopefully I feel better. But God, 2022 has not gotten off to a great start.
Oh. Between that and losing Bob Saget yesterday, it's just been rough, man.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, Bob Saget. Oh, man, that's sad news. Especially, it's just kind of random.
Yeah, he was 65, and I don't know. I don't think they've released like the details yet, but they said it wasn't like any sort of like drug or alcohol related. So who knows what it was. But I mean, have you did you work at all while you were sick?
Yeah, I've
probably, well, you probably were at home, stayed at home.
Well, our office actually closed due to COVID. It closed down last week and this week, which is kind of good for me because I didn't have to go in. And I could have just stayed home all week and worked, but just a even better excuse to be at home. So I just worked all week, and it wasn't like debilitating in the sense where I couldn't work, but
I saw you hop on Halo a couple times.
I mean, Fridays roll around and
you feel a little better.
Yeah. Speaking of which, just real quick on Halo, I almost finished all of the weekly challenges today.
Nice.
I have 2 left. One of them is stop 5 enemy killing sprees, which is ridiculous.
I did that yesterday. It's I'm nearing the end of the battle pass, but I'm like, have
you finished the 10 event?
I have not. I have not. I don't know what level I'm on, but I think it ends today. So I'll be super grinding the next time it comes around in early February. But I'm level 89 right now in the battle pass. I'm rolling, man. I love it.
I'm 49. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's the double XP, man. There is a code, by the way. If you go to like the Xbox Game Pass awards or something like that, there's a free code for Halo Infinite, and it gives you like a couple of weapon skins and like some double XP and stuff. So shout out to Game
Oh,
Pass.
those green skins.
Yeah, the green skins and like
Yeah,
some.
I think I got those.
Okay, cool.
I've only used one of my XP boosts. I kind of
Really, I
forgot
use
about
it, like,
them until
yeah, I
yesterday.
just pop them like if I'm gonna like today. I haven't really played that much just because like I'm done with all the awards and stuff for the week. I played like a couple of games earlier, but like tomorrow I'll probably pretty much anytime like I first boot it up, I just pop that double XP, and I mean within 4 games, you're leveling up like 3 times. So
Dang, yeah. I need to do that. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, especially tomorrow when all the
you've got until
challenges are
June
set.
to get to a level 100, Nick. So you've got
Yeah, I have enough
time.
I think I'm good. I'm halfway through. I'm all right.
Yeah, but yeah, that one was kind of a pain because like it was that, and then like fusion coil. It was like I had to get 3 kills with a fusion coil, which isn't hard in itself, but there's only like 2 maps available that have fusion coils, and like I was trying to do Fiesta at the same time, so it's like it just I don't know. It's hard to do that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
I mean it is what it is.
I'm kind of done with Fiesta for now, I think.
Dude, my RNG for Fiesta is like the worst. Like
mine's
I think I lost like 3 or 4 times earlier, and I just like I kept getting like a plasma pistol and like
the
like a sidekick. I was like, this I can't do anything with this when people are rolling around with rocket launchers. So,
anti-gravity hammers and everything. I'm like,
yeah, I just feel like I have the worst RNG when it comes to Fiesta. I mean, normally it's a fun, right? So it's fun in itself, but yeah, after 4 or 5 games of just getting the worst luck, I'm like, all right, I'm good with this. I
want to be on a level playing field for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But Harrison, sorry, I mean, there's probably not going to be an episode where we don't talk about Halo for the next few months, but
it will never stop.
How was your week?
It was good. Just another, I say it every week, just another typical work week. There are, I guess they're thinking about like going remote again for like our kids at school. So,
oh really?
Yeah, they're thinking about it because I think like 30% of kids in GC in our county have had like COVID or something, or I don't know the exact statistic.
Is that recently? Like they recently got COVID or just total?
Yeah, it's like high. It's like I don't know. So they're thinking about that, and then I mean now that I'm thinking if that's going to happen, like our job hasn't solidified a day yet of us going back. They say the end of January. So with this news, I don't know. So, we'll see.
There's no way into January sticks.
Yeah, I just with the new variant coming out, and they stopped
the release of the new variant
with the release of the new Transformer Omnicron. Yeah, just the new variant popping up, and they got rid of the mask mandate, which just keep it, man. I got no problem with wearing a mask anywhere I go.
At this point, yeah,
I almost prefer it because I'm like everybody else is so nasty, walking around like
like some nasties,
hacking up in Target and stuff. Like, oh god.
Yeah, I'm very like averse to people coughing now. I'm like, I don't want any part of that. I don't want to get sick ever.
Yeah, I'm feeling great all the time for the most part. Like I don't want to be sick.
Yeah.
So yeah, just another normal kind of work week, just playing some video games. Still have not started Guardians of the Galaxy yet, but I got a new game to talk about this week. If you want to dive into what we've been playing, Nick.
Heck yeah, I do. I want to hear about this new game you got. Yeah,
so the Forgotten City. It's on Game Pass. And I heard a lot of great things about the game. It's a 3-person team that made this, and it's a Skyrim mod. So it feels like Skyrim for better or worse.
It feels amazing.
Yeah, it feels incredible. And it takes place. So I'll give the rundown, and then I don't want to talk about any other story because if I had played this prior to Game of the Year, like this could potentially be like the top 3 for me.
Holy crap!
It's incredible.
Have you finished it?
I did. Yeah, I finished. I got all 4 endings. It's only like a 6-hour game, 5 or 6 hour game. So I'm loving like these little short, experience games. But
yeah.
So you start off. in a very typical Skyrim fashion, you wake up and someone's talking to you and is like, "Oh, do you remember getting here?" And you're like, "Oh no, I don't." So they're like, "Okay, go find this person named Al that went into this cave, and I haven't seen him in a while." So you just kind of pick up and you go to this cave, and you kind of go through like this little area, and it's completely dark. And there's these golden statues everywhere that are very creepy. They're definitely people that you could just tell up front. They're all in like positions of either fleeing or they're praying or something. So you go there, and then eventually you fall into this giant pit or whatever, and you wake up in like, I don't know, 2000 years BC, like before, like BC or whatever. And it's like,
okay,
during like the fall of Rome, like Greece and stuff like that. So, and you wake up and you go to this guy greets you. He's, in, not Roman clothes, but he's in like kind of like just a kind of a dirty looking attire. And
old rags.
Yeah. And you come out and he's like, "Oh, where'd you come from?" And it's funny because you get in the very beginning, you get kind of start out as a class like you want. So you can have a class that you move a little bit faster, you move 25% faster, or you can, I think it's not marksman, but you're like a special agent, and you can just straight up walk into this area with like a handgun. And you only have 10 bullets, but you're in modern day. And you walk in there and they're like, who are you? Why are you dressed like that? And then he gives you the tour of kind of the city, and then you go to the magistrate, and he says that the city is based on one rule, and it's the golden rule. And he says, the sin of the one is, how does it go? Something where if one person commits a sin, everybody gets killed for it.
Oh,
no matter,
okay.
no matter who does it, no matter the reasoning, theft, murder. And you're not quite sure of all of the aspects of what the golden rule is. You definitely know and no one really knows because obviously it hasn't happened yet. And he says that somebody is going to break the golden rule, and you need to find out who it is. And then you have a whole city to explore. And there's 23 residents, and I think 2 or 3 are completely missing. Yeah, you just explore this city, and there's a time loop element to the game. So anytime, eventually the golden rule will break. And I'm not going to spoil just different variations. You can do it yourself. You can steal stuff, and you can also kill somebody. And then
if you get away with it,
there's no getting away with it.
Okay.
There's some sort of god or entity that people know about that they don't know who it is, but that's who is kind of enforcing this golden rule. So they're, after you break it or somebody else breaks it in whatever way, the magistrate knows the spell that he runs all the way up to where you came out of. He enchants the spell, or he chants like this incantation, and then time rewinds and you come back and you start it all over.
Okay.
That's really all I want to say, because I think it's probably the best time loop game I've ever played. It's incredible.
Wow, really?
The story is amazing. It holds up like to the very end. Even like just the ending I don't know. It's pretty perfect in my it's just a great ending. And the best thing that I think it does for any time loop game is, because there's, as you figure out the people's stories and their history and their details and stuff, you can save, some you can heal, some you can stop from trying to commit suicide. So the main person that you originally met, you can say, okay, we've already had this conversation before. Here's this item, do this, and he'll go out around the whole city and do all the things that you've already done. So you don't have to constantly do the same thing every single time.
Okay.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Because that's like the worst part of every time loop game.
Exactly.
12 minutes.
Exactly. So you can kind of, if you're like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this, and then you can kind of not have to worry about doing those things, and then focus on the new things you want to try.
Yeah.
So, and the game, the day always ends with there's another person running for magistrate position, and the way that election is handled is when the golden rule is broken. Don't want to say how it happens, but that's so there's always a little bit of, I don't know the exact how, like, I've never gotten to the point, like I've never played it so much in one loop that has happened. So I think it does take a little while for that election to happen. So you're not necessarily on a time crunch. It's not constantly over your head about it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many different like aspects of going into like the catacombs of the city and like different caves and buildings that are closed off and trying to figure out how to get in there, because there's different approaches to everything. So it's great. I would highly recommend it to anybody. Like I said, it's a 5 to 6 hour experience, and that's because I did every ending. And the whole point is the magistrate tells you that if you stop the golden rule from breaking, that should create like a paradox where you should be, shot back to your own timeline.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you're running off of. But there's so many other variables that happen between A and B.
Oh man, I want to play this.
Yeah, it's I would definitely recommend like having Alicia play with you too, or just to sit beside you, because I think she'll like it a lot.
Because this is kind of like a puzzle, not a puzzle game per se, but in a sense of trying to figure out conversations and what to say to people. It's kind of like that, kind of a puzzle type game.
Yep.
Okay.
It's amazing. It is incredible.
This sounds really cool.
Yeah, and like there's the statues are like whispering at you, kind of trying to guide you to where to go but it's almost like you don't want to necessarily believe them. So yeah, it's an incredible game and an achievement for 3 people to make. And it is pretty. It feels like a Skyrim game, like when you're controlling it, because it's first person. There's like minor combat in it. There's a bow and arrow at one point. So, yeah, it's cool. I highly recommend it. It's again, like I said, it'd be probably at least in my top 5. For game of the year running, I would have voted Outriders out at number 10.
And this is called The Forgotten City.
The Forgotten City. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's amazing. Incredible.
I'm installing this now.
Yeah.
To my Xbox.
Yeah. I was gonna play Guardians. There was like a 40 gig update for the game. And in that time I had already downloaded The Forgotten City because the Giant Bomb were talking about it. The guys over at Giant Bomb, and I had already downloaded it. And then I was like, you know what, let me just try this. And I ended up playing like 3 hours that night just because I was so addicted. Yeah. So I finished it in two sittings.
Okay.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Dang. A lot of shorter games I want to check out. I want to play the Gunk just to play it.
Yeah. Gunk's good. But this is like, I would stop what you're doing right now and just play it and get through it before we get into the crazy season of gaming. But because Forgotten City is incredible.
Well, speaking of, Harrison, do you have any other games that you want to talk about?
No, just been grinding with Halo. That's about it.
It out. Nice. Well, speaking of games that are not short, well, I finished up Spider-Man.
Okay.
I know I was really close the last time we had a podcast and finished that up. Had a really great ending, and
the whole game is amazing.
Really, really amazing game. Just one of my favorite superhero games, just based off of the movement itself and being able to swing around the city. I'm taking a bit of a break before I go into Miles Morales.
Yeah, I would recommend that.
I don't want to get burnt out.
Yeah.
And I jumped
that's how I felt, because I almost 100% at Spider-Man. I think I did. And then I played through all the DLC, and I think 100% of all those. So by the time I was done with Spider-Man, I was done with Spider-Man. So
I never want to see Spider-Man again.
I hated Spider-Man.
Oh, also, I saw No Way Home this weekend.
great because IGN is just every other article is just full on spoilers.
Yeah. All I will say is that it was absolutely amazing.
Yes,
it's
great.
Tugged all the right strings in my body.
Yeah,
heartstrings. It was very funny. It was a really funny movie.
Yeah.
But anyways,
best movie since probably since like Endgame and Infinity War.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I started up Ghost of Tsushima.
Nice.
It's a really big game, and I don't know if I'm in the mood for that big of a game right now. But
yeah, especially coming from Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's like super open world, and I can see it's very similar to Spider-Man, where there's like a list of repeatable things that you can do throughout the world. And I'm like 2 hours in. I'm not super far.
Yeah, but
I feel like I'm already fatigued with it. I'm like, here another upgrade tree, and this one has like 5 upgrade trees. I'm like, dude, I don't know about this. I don't know if I want to play this right now. So
yeah, I don't blame you. That's tough.
And no fault to Sucker Punch or to this game, but I think I have open world fatigue. And I didn't play that many games with large open worlds last year. I mean, Halo was one of them, but that wasn't that crazy.
No,
I wouldn't consider that like a big open world game. But I don't know. I'm still kind of coming off of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. In a way,
I was gonna say like that put me into like the fatigue. Like after putting like 85 hours into that, I was like, I don't want to touch another open world for ever again.
Yeah, so I might switch over to I want to play the Forgotten City now, but
yeah, after
that I might either play Deathloop or jump into Final Fantasy. And I know that's another long game, but that's like it's not open world. It's
more linear.
More linear, less kind of BS to go through.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. Like,
yeah, I don't blame you. I know Ghost is an incredible game, but yeah, I just don't know, especially like Horizon coming around the corner. Like I just don't, but I don't know if I'll even play that because I just want to wait for a PS5, but we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, open world. I coming off like the Gunk and the Forgotten City, just these really under 10-hour experiences has been so refreshful, so refreshing,
full of refresh.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't blame you.
So I've been thinking about like smaller games that I can jump into or games that I can go back and finish. Like, I kind of want to jump back into Pokemon, but
I'm waiting. I pre-ordered the Zen Grip 3 OLED like controller.
What is this?
It's like a grip, but like
for the OLED. Okay.
Yeah. Apparently, like the Zen Grip is like the best like grip out there for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And I pre-ordered it, and it comes with like the case and all that stuff. And I pre-ordered it back in like November, and it's supposed to. I think the first shipments were going to go out in December, like mid-December. And I haven't got any updated since, or they sent an update out like early December saying they were, getting everything out, but still take some time. So I'm waiting for that to motivate me to play Pokemon. But again, like just Halo, man, just sucking up so much time in my life.
Yeah. Like with every game that I'm playing now, I'm like, I kind of want to play Halo. I kind of want to play a few matches of Halo. Oh, I want to play Halo.
Yeah. Just quick little 3 matches.
Play a couple, man. Just a few.
It's fun.
Yeah, so I have a lot of PS5 games that I want to play through. Well, technically they're last gen games, but I got Deathloop. Want to play through that.
Yep.
Really, really excited for Deathloop and Final Fantasy, of course. But then there are all these other games coming out. And I don't know if I'll get it yet, but Pokemon's on the horizon. Pokemon Arceus is what they're calling it now.
That new trailer they dropped today did nothing for me.
It looks dookie. It looks like nothing is going on in the open world.
It just looks like Pokemon Sword and Shield, like the wild area. It looks just a little bit nicer.
Like, let's take
I don't know, man. I think this game's gonna get like 7 6s, and it'll sell like crazy because it's Pokemon. But I just don't. I'm not gonna fall for it this time. I'm not gonna just get it. It has to be like amazing. So
But
I don't know.
Just the fact that they haven't shown anything else. You know,
Comes
I
out,
thought they'd have like a deep
28th,
dive.
right? Is it the 28th when it comes out
Yeah, in like
on a
2
Friday?
weeks.
They have to have like a direct, right? But with them dropping this little trailer, I don't know.
There's been no deep dive. Like, I'm assuming all there is you have these Monster Hunter mission, or yeah, the mission structure of Monster Hunter where you go out, you know, catch a certain number of Pokemon or whatever, and then go back in and you craft items and Pokeballs while you're out in the field. But is that it? Like, is there anything to explore? Are there caves? Are there, you know, monuments that you can go to and, you know, unlock power-ups or you know, something? Just, I want to see like that Pokemon Direct where they just dive into all the juicy details on this game, but there's nothing. Just vast landscaping, screen, like videos and screenshots of this game where it's like, oh, this is like this big Pokemon world. It's like, okay, well, if there's nothing there, then why do I care?
I think that there's probably nothing there.
If it looks like there's nothing there, there's probably nothing there.
Yeah, I'm not hyped up at all for that. I was like at first when they first announced it, I was like, oh my gosh, they're actually doing what we want them to do, and now they just haven't shown anything. So
it's like, yeah,
I'll wait for reviews. I'll wait, you know, see what happens with it. Again, it'll sell like hotcakes, but
it will.
We'll see.
Well, Harrison, that's all I've been playing.
Nice.
Shall we move on to the news? We got a few things, a few little tidbits.
Yeah, it's a few little tidbits this week. Nick, would it be crazy if the number one selling video game on the Switch got a sequel? Is that crazy to you?
That's absolutely ridiculous.
So Mario Kart 9 is in development with some sort of new twist.
What?
So welcome to any kind of Mario Kart sequel. They all have like some new thing element added to it.
I kind of chuckled when I saw that title. I was like, of course.
Nick, how excited are you for like a new Mario Kart?
If you're like asking me right now, and I'm not super excited, but as soon as they show it and show all the features, I'm going to get pretty pumped up. I always get kind of excited for new Mario Karts.
Would you want new for Mario Kart?
I don't know, because I feel like Mario Kart 8 is kind of a perfect Mario Kart game. Like, if they add new maps, obviously, maybe some new characters, but like even then, I don't need anything too extravagant.
What if it was an open world Mario Kart game?
Shut up! I don't want it.
That'd be kind of cool.
So the real question is, are they going to call this? Oh no, you go ahead. You got an idea.
I was just saying that you go through all like the different zones. Like you got your Mario zone and you got your Zelda zone, and
so it's like Forza.
Yeah, kind of.
But Mario.
That'd be cool.
And they call it Nintendo Kart Open Circuit.
Maybe. Boom.
So Harrison, question for you. Are they going to call this Mario Kart 9? Or are they just going to skip to 10? And do you think Mario Kart Home Circuit is Mario Kart 9?
That could, I mean, gosh, Mario Kart 8 came out in 2013 or something like crazy like that.
Yeah.
2012. So 8 years. I think they'll probably just skip to 10.
Because 9's not a very popular number.
No. Yeah. I think they'll just say home circuit is 9, more or less, whatever. You know, or to say, hey, you know, you've got 8, 8.5, you know, whatever deluxe is. Maybe that's, I don't know. But you got deluxe, and then you got home circuit. That was your 9, and then yeah, I think you're right. I think they'll jump straight to 10.
Yeah, straight to Mario Kart Infinite.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that'd be pretty good.
I mean, 8 was perfect. The racetrack went around.
I mean, that was a good twist. having
Or
the
do you
zero
think it's going to be
gravity.
Mario Kart X?
Yeah, the X, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I say that I'm not excited, but when they show it off for the first time, I probably will be.
You're going to be excited to play
pretty
with
pumped.
Kellen.
Yeah. That too.
Now, do you think this is going to be the Switch successor launch title, or is this going to come out on the current Switch?
I think it'll definitely come out. They'll probably, if we're 2 to 3 years away from like a new, like a Switch, or whatever the next thing is, I think this will be on the current platform we've got, and then they'll do some sort of deluxe, some sort of crossover.
The next one.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's definitely coming out on this. The rumors are that it's supposed to be announced this year, so we may be getting it holiday this year, which would be insane, but maybe probably more likely in 2023.
I think it would be next year.
Yeah.
It's just crazy though, because Mario Kart 8, it still sells, like it's selling amazingly every holiday.
Yeah.
They always still on the charts each month. Yeah, they always bundle that thing up with the Switch, and it sells great. I mean,
yeah, it's fun.
If I was Nintendo right now, I'd be like, why do I even need to make a new Mario Kart at this point?
Yeah, that's why I was kind of surprised. I was like, obviously some things in the works, but for it to come out like this, I mean, it's not surprising, but also like they could probably ride it out for another year, and maybe that's what they'll do. They'll ride it out and then release a new one next year.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We will see.
Nick, you want to read the next one?
Yeah. So, congratulations to Ghost of Tsushima. They just reached 8 million unit sales.
Cool.
And this is a great milestone. I mean, the game's been out for a year, over a year and a half at this point. So that's pretty good. But one of the Days Gone devs, it might have been one of the producers on the game, he was complaining because he said that Days Gone had 8 million sales and Sony saw it as a failure in their eyes. But as it turns out, he was talking about player base, or just number of players who have played the game. So 8 million players doesn't mean you sold 8 million copies,
right?
Because that game is on PS Plus,
free, right?
It's free on the PlayStation Plus collection.
Yeah.
So it hasn't actually sold 8 million, and then of course it didn't really review well.
Well, I think that's the big thing, right? I think it's probably sold like a few million copies.
Definitely like probably 5 million or something like that.
But Sony is, so they consider themselves, and they kind of are, so prestigious with their games. Like all their games are 9s and plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Days Gone reviewed 6s, 7s, 8s, probably got some 9s depending on the outlet that reviewed, but it wasn't a great game that Sony is expected to have. It was a good game. So yeah, I think that's why it was a failure with Sony, just because, I mean, it could have sold 8 million, but they're probably not interested in a sequel because it just didn't review well. And that's what they care about the most, I think. Is obviously the money, obviously making the sales, but I think they prefer to have the reviews over the sales.
And out of those 8 million people who played it, what if only a quarter of them actually liked the game?
Yeah.
Then,
because reviews hold on. I mean, with Sony's kind of strategy where they're, porting their games over to PC, 2 to 3, 4 years later, that kind of, be like, oh, that that God of War game was incredible on the PS4. It's finally on PC. I heard it was so amazing.
Yeah, carries weight,
and they pick it up for $60 or whatever it is. So, yeah, reviews carry, word of mouth carries. So I just,
it's and this kind of comes like, it's kind of bad timing. It's kind of lame that they used Ghost of Tsushima's success to kind of complain like that. I mean, both are both are really good devs. I mean, Bend Studios, I think. They're pretty small. Like, this is their first bigger title. So I mean, it's a great first outing. It's just not, it's not at that like PlayStation level
Yeah, it's not that caliber, that high caliber that they expect, or that we know to expect from PlayStation.
Exactly. All right. Well, moving
this
on.
This is ridiculous, by the way. This next one, I
have an update.
I don't want to play this game.
I have an update.
I know it's considerably less, but yeah, go ahead.
So initial reports, well, actually, this was a tweet from Techland.
Yes.
They essentially said, and literally said that Dying Light 2 would take 500 hours to fully complete. And that means doing getting all the endings, doing all the side quests, collectibles, every area of the map. So it sparked a conversation online of how long is too long for a game?
This is too long.
This is it. This is that line. If you were to tell me that Dying Light 2 takes even 200 hours to fully complete, I still wouldn't want to do it.
How does 80 hours sound, Nick?
It still sounds like a long time.
They said the regular, the main story is 80 hours.
No, they said main story was 20.
Okay.
And main story plus all the side quests is 80. So this is like the length of a standard. No, I mean, let's not call it an Assassin's Creed, Harrison. Because
not talking down on it, but it's like a standard open world.
I didn't finish Assassin's Creed, and I played it for 60 hours.
Yeah.
And I didn't do many of the side quests. So this is it's still less than Assassin's Creed because you can beat the game.
Yeah.
But there's still too much to do, in my opinion. And granted, this game looks awesome. I looked at a gameplay video. I'm excited for it. I kind of want to play Dying Light. I just kind of want to boot it up again.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of changes. They've still been adding stuff to it. So
yeah, so I'm excited. I might pick it up, but yeah, they shouldn't have come out swinging with that 500 hours to fully complete. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's what. So when does this come out?
It's early February.
Yep, February 4th. Okay, so
it's Pokemon. Then
Pokemon comes out the 28th. And then Dying Light comes out February 4th. And then, let's see, I'm trying to see what else. Horizon comes out February 18th.
Jeez.
Elden Ring comes out the 25th of February. So, I mean, that's what, 1, 2, 3 Pokemon. I'm not going to consider that open world, but yeah, 3 huge open world games back to back to back. That's a lot.
That's fatigue right there. And Horizon's gonna have the points of interest where you go up and you reveal points of the map.
Yep.
And I'm assuming Elden Ring will have something similar. Dying Light 2, of course, it's gonna have that. But you parkour up and unlock pieces of the map.
Yeah, I'm almost glad that I don't have a PS5 just so I can hold off on Horizon. Because playing 3 of those back to back is insane. And obviously, as soon as Elden Ring comes out, everything else is just going to get dropped. So if you're not done with Dying Light, which if it's 500 hours, I mean, no, you won't be done.
How many days are between this and Elden Ring?
21 days. You got 3 weeks to beat Dying Light. So is that even? Yeah, I guess it is, right?
It's possible, yeah. But that's that. I mean, granted, that's to fully complete it.
Yeah.
But God, I'm tired of these just bloated games, man.
Yeah, maybe we should hold off on Ghost. Just let that one lie.
Yeah, hearing how long games like Persona and Yakuza, how they have 100-hour stories.
Yeah, it's daunting. It
no,
makes me not want to even boot it up because I know that the tutorial itself is going to be 5 hours long, and then it's going to open up until the main thank you.
I remember when Fire Emblem Three Houses was coming out, Nintendo was talking about kind of like the length of the game, and I think they mentioned something over 100 hours, maybe like close to 200 to like fully do everything.
Yeah.
And even at the time, I was like, it kind of sounds like a lot. Like even as a major Fire Emblem fan, I'm like, that's kind of too much. And I only played through like 2 of the 4 routes because it's just a long game, you know. Don't have time. There's other stuff and other things to do. Like, man, yeah, it's
Be a lot. It's gonna be some busy next couple months just in gaming. So
yeah, I'm ready for Kirby to come out. I hope that's a shorter game.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, it's 50 hours. Oh God.
Oh, great.
This one, yeah,
we got
it's kind
smaller,
of random.
Yeah, kind of smaller thing, but there were some screenshots of potentially a new Armored Core game coming out, and this is a From Software series.
One of their first kind of series, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like a mech style game. I've never played it, but
yeah, it was a pre Dark Souls, pre Demon Souls, but apparently a lot of people love it, and it might be making a comeback.
Cool.
Which, I mean, that makes sense. Like after Elden Ring, like where are they going to go next? Kind of revisiting this old franchise kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely give it a shot.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Take-Two, owners of, publisher. Do they own Rockstar? I don't know if they own Rockstar or not. Publisher.
I think they do.
Take-Two, yeah, and then 2K, I think. Two. What is it? It's not 2K, is it?
2K Interactive.
2K Interactive. That's what it is. They're purchasing Zynga, the mobile company, for $12 billion, the largest gaming acquisition yet. You thought that Microsoft Bethesda one was the big one, or the ZeniMax one? No. This one's even bigger.
Yeah, and just to note, this is 64% higher than Zynga's closing stock price on Friday. So they really want them if they're paying that much higher than what they're actually worth on paper. But my question is, maybe
we'll see some Grand Theft Auto mobile games coming out of them. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
But they make stuff like Words with Friends and other mobile stuff. They've got a Switch game coming out soon-ish. I can't remember. Farmville. They did Farmville. It's a Star Wars Hunters for Switch.
Star Wars Hunters?
Switch, iOS, and Android.
Okay.
Farmville, Harry Potter, Puzzles and Spells, Words with Friends, which I love that game. That was
it's a great game.
I haven't played it in a while, but took up a lot of time in between of, I don't know, just work and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, $12 billion apparently is what they're worth to Take-Two. So
that's pretty high. That's higher than Supercell when they got bought out. The Clash of Clans people.
Yep.
I think they were sold for 10 billion, or they were bought out for 10 billion. This is, I mean, it's kind of a weird time because I feel like they, like, aside from Star Wars Hunters, they really don't have anything new coming out. But I'm not very.
Yeah, we don't really follow mobile too much, so they probably have a lot of stuff in the bank. So, but yeah, that is going to wrap up the news. We're slowly starting to build up on new stuff.
Yeah, getting back into it a little bit.
Coming out of the holidays, where we may or may not have a direct here in the next month or so. So we'll see.
I think we will.
I think we're due for a normal direct. To at least talk about Pokemon. I mean, gosh, you think they would? I don't know. I don't know if I want a dedicated Pokemon Arceus direct, but I would like to have it as part of one. Just to show off some gameplay or something.
I mean,
And then
I'd like to think we'd see something, and maybe they'll announce. It might be too early, but maybe they'll announce the next generation of Pokemon or something. I don't know if that'll even come out this year, or if it'll be like a next year thing. But
it's next generation, like a proper
like,
sequel.
yeah, like Gen 9, I think.
No, I don't. I think it'll be a while before we see a new generation of Pokemon.
Okay.
I don't know. I want this game, Pokemon Arceus, to be good. I want it to be different enough from what we come to expect from Pokemon. And again, you and I are kind of falling out of that. I don't know what's the word.
Out of the honeymoon phase. Well, not honeymoon phase, because we've been out of that. But
yeah, we're not really part of that player base anymore. I guess we just expect more than they're willing to offer. So yeah, hopefully they can do something different. And because right now, like, I just, as a person who doesn't love Pokemon that much, like, and people that do, I kind of want to know their thoughts, because this doesn't look, and maybe it's just the rose tinted glasses that they're wearing, that it's just, a pseudo open world type Pokemon game, but it just doesn't look like it's doing much from what we can see so far. So hopefully they can, and it's out in less than a month, so maybe too little too late for that stuff, but I don't know.
I think fans recognize that the game, at least visually, doesn't look good. I mean, it obviously looks pretty rough, especially, I mean, even compared to Breath of the Wild, which came out 4 or 5 years ago, almost at this point. But, those hardcore Pokemon fans are just excited about the prospect of being able to catch a Pokemon in real time.
Yeah.
And that's something that people have wanted since Pokemon first came out, right? Like, people have wanted like a World of Warcraft or RuneScape type Pokemon game where you can freely roam the world, and it doesn't seem like that's what this is, but it still kind of scratches that itch a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. Like, that does kind of sound exciting to me, like being able to catch Pokemon in real time, but I feel like that novelty would kind of wear off pretty fast.
Yeah.
And after that, I'd be
700 times when you're catching all these Pokemon. I mean, I don't know how many Pokemon. I think it's just the Sinnoh region Pokemon and some few others. So
yeah. And like, the trailer said the goal of this game, like the ultimate objective, is to complete the Pokédex.
Yeah.
So it doesn't sound like there's this grandiose conflict.
Yeah.
And
like, and maybe no, Team Rocket or whatever that faction is. Like, I'm sure there'll be something.
Like, there are different factions, but I don't know if they're playing a larger part.
Yeah.
In the game or not.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's weird that we haven't seen anything and no one's previewed it. Like, preview builds haven't, like, no one's posted any previews or anything about this game.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know.
I think it's going to be a
subpar, I think.
But, yeah, I think it's going to be a miss.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, hopefully we can, hopefully they can persuade us. But yeah, I'm not, like we said at the beginning, we're not going to jump on in. You can fall into the hype a day before or whatever, and be like, I'm pre-order right now. So, but yeah, that is going to wrap up the show. We appreciate everyone that, of course, always watches and listens to the show via the good old earphones. Nick, where can they follow? Yeah, or speaker, yeah, in the car. I listen to a lot of podcasts in the car. Yeah. Nick, where can they follow us over on Twitter?
They can follow us at GamingWT Bros on Twitter. We're always tweeting stuff on there, so yeah, hang out there. We also have a TikTok, at Gaming with the Bros Cast on TikTok. Post a lot of like clips from the podcast as well as Halo clips if you like those.
Yeah, I would say majority Halo and
majority Halo clips.
Some clips in the podcast. So, but yeah, I've had so much fun just doing
it's
clips. It's amazing.
It's a great time.
Yeah.
And aside from those two, if you have any questions that you want us to answer live on the podcast, send us a question over at gamingwiththebros@yahoo.com. It's just that, right? It's not Broscast.
Nope, just bros. Gaming with the
Gaming with the
bros.
bros at yahoo.com.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you can send the same questions on Twitter if you prefer that. So if you want to be a little bit more anonymous or something, go email. But other than that, if you want to watch us live every Monday at 8:30 Eastern time, that's Gaming WT Bros. Or no, Gaming with the Bros cast. Twitch.tv/Gaming with the Bros cast. There's so many.
We have too many accounts.
Too many accounts, man. Too many accounts to keep up with. And then go back and listen to our Game of the Year show. We had a lot of fun doing that, going over our top 10.
Yeah.
So that was a lot. That was a great time. So go back and listen to that. It's not too long. So, but yeah, Nick, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
I hope everyone's getting off to a better 2022 than I am, and yeah, everyone stay hydrated.
Yeah, stay
Drink
hydrated.
that Pedialyte.
That Pedia. All right, we will see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.